In March 1928, the St. Francis Dam in Los Angeles collapsed, killing 431 people in floods. This accident is the prototype for the collapse of the Van der Lip Dam in Chinatown. Water has always been the most important and scarce resource in the desert city of Los Angeles. In the early 20th century, the Los Angeles area did indeed have a battle over water resources. This is also the inspiration for the main plot of Chinatown. Screenwriter Robert Towne spent years researching and writing, combining true stories with Chandler's tough guy detective style. Towne and Nicholson have been friends for many years, and the script was written with Nicholson as the protagonist. After that, Polanski was invited to be the director of the film. The two worked together to write a third version of the script, but they parted ways after disagreements over the ending of the film. Polanski started filming with an incomplete script and wrote the ending in the final days of filming. The film was a huge success after its release, and Robert Towne won the Academy Award for Best Original Screenplay. The main thread of Chinatown is water. In 1937, when Los Angeles suffered a severe drought, the local government decided to issue $8.5 million in water bonds to build a new dam. Mulray, chief engineer of the Ministry of Water Resources, opposed the proposal due to safety risks. Hired to follow Mulray, Jack discovers that Mulray has visited multiple reservoirs over several days. After Mulray's mysterious death, Jack realizes that his death was water-related. As the investigation deepens, all clues point to Mulray's father-in-law and former partner Noah Cross. The two once contracted the entire water supply system in Los Angeles. Later, due to Mulray's request, the water supply system was handed back to the government, and became the Ministry of Water Resources. After the public ownership of the Ministry of Water Resources, Cross's influence remained. The deputy chief engineer Yelburton was a member of the Albacore Club founded by Cross. This means that Mulray has become a mere figurehead before his death. Cross orders Yelburton drains the water every night. When Jack asked Yelburton why he drained the water, the answer was to support farmers in the Northwest Valley. All Jack sees is the inevitable loss of water transfer. After reviewing the archives and field surveys, Jack discovered that the land in the Northwest Basin had changed hands in large numbers a few weeks ago. The Ministry of Water Resources not only failed to transfer a drop of water here, but also sent people to destroy the farmers' water sources, resulting in barren land. Farmers could only sell their land at a low price. The buyers of the land are several old people in a nursing home. Jack went to the nursing home and saw that the cloth in front of the old lady looked familiar. After inquiring, he learned that the nursing home belonged to the Albacore Club. The old people are just holding the land for Cross. The screenwriter revealed that the Albacore Club was based on the Tuna Club founded in 1898, and Chaplin was one of its early members. Legend has it that the Tuna Club once controlled Los Angeles. Cross's real purpose is to use the new dam to irrigate the land he bought, then sell the land to the Los Angeles government at a high price to make a profit. He drained the water to create a drought, and then cooperated with appropriate propaganda work to guide the people to vote for the bill. Use the people's money to build the dam and sell the land to the people. Jack estimates that he can make a profit of $30 million through this operation, which is now worth $597 million. The hidden storyline in the film is about Catherine. Catherine's biological parents are Cross and Evelyn. Evelyn once confessed to Jack that she couldn't face her daughter because of the trauma, so Catherine was brought up by Mulray alone. She may have always thought of Mulray as her father. This explains the intimacy of the two before. Because of the deep relationship between the two, Catherine broke down when she saw the news of Mulray's death in the newspaper, and Evelyn went to comfort her. After watching it several times, you can find that Catherine's storyline runs through the whole film. Whenever Evelyn mentions her father or Catherine, she gets upset.
Well, that little girlfriend, she was pretty in a cheap sort of a way, of course. She's disappeared. Maybe they disappeared together.
Suppose they did. How does that affect you?
It's nothing personal, Mrs. Mulray.
It's very personal. It couldn't be more personal.
By the way, what does this C stand for?
A cross.
It's your maiden name?
Yes. Why?
No reason. Noah Cross is your father, isn't he?
Yes, of course. Well, it was sometime after. I was just out of grade school when they did that.
Then you married your father's business partner. You've already got one going, Mrs. Mulray.
Oh.
Does, my talking about your father upset you?
Oh, no. Yes, a little. You see, Hollis and my father.
The clips above reflect her efforts to cover up and escape the irreparable trauma. The main line and the hidden line of the film are seamlessly woven together and tightly combined. Even Jack has trouble finding the truth. As the plot progresses, Jack's perception of the cause, location and killer of Mulray's death continues to change. At the end, he tells the police that Cross killed Mulray because of water problems. Is he correct? Let's analyze why Mulray was killed. On the second day of investigating Mulray, Walsh heard Mulray say the word apple core when they were arguing, and we later learned that Walsh misheard albacore as apple core. This means that Mulray was fully aware of Cross's activities at the time. If Cross is afraid of Mulray revealing the conspiracy, or wants him to disappear for other reasons, he can have his subordinates do it. Why do it himself? Therefore, killing Mulray was not planned for a long time, but a crime of passion. The glasses that Cross left at the crime scene support this point. It could only be his daughter Catherine that made Cross so out of control. The writer have already laid a foreshadowing in the first dialogue between Jack and Cross.
It was 5 days ago outside the Pig and Whistle, and you had one hell of an argument. I got the pictures in my office, if that'll help you remember. What was the argument about?
My daughter.
The truth should be that Cross killed Mulray for Catherine. Because Mulray and Catherine already had a bond, in order to protect her, he was determined not to let Cross meet her. Cross lost control and drowned him in the pool. After that, he called and asked his subordinates to dispose of the body, and in a panic, he didn't notice the glasses that had been dropped in the pool. Cross hired Jack to take pictures, not to stigmatize Mulray. We know that before the scandal was released, Mulray's public image is already poor, and a scandal could not affect him. I guess there are two purposes for taking the photos. Number one, Cross wanted to see what his daughter, whom he had never met, looked like through photos. In order to protect Catherine's privacy, Cross deliberately chose a photo of her with her back to the camera to be published in the newspaper. Number two, let Mulray give up Catherine. It is conceivable that when the two were talking in the courtyard, Cross would say something like this. You not only failed to protect her, but also caused unnecessary damage to her reputation. Please return her to me so that she can live a normal life. Based on the time Mulray left the office, it can be speculated that he died at noon after the newspaper was published. During the confrontation with Jack, Cross doesn't mention Catherine at all, instead directing Jack's attention to the dam. It also made Jack misunderstand why Mulray was killed. Jack's misunderstanding of the truth leads to the theme of the film.
Chinatown.
What were you doing there?
Working for the district attorney.
Doing what?
As little as possible.
The district attorney gives his men advice like that.
As little as possible.
What's that?
Robert Town explained the origin of the phrase, as little as possible, in an interview.
The title had come from a Hungarian vice cop. He had said that he worked vice and he worked in Chinatown. And I asked him what he did, and he said as little as possible. And I said, well, what kind of law enforcement is that? And he said, hey man, when you're down there with the tongs and the different dialects, you can't tell who's doing what to who, and you can't tell whether you're being asked to help prevent a crime or you're inadvertently lending the color of the law to help commit a crime. So we've decided that the best thing to do when you're in Chinatown is as little as possible.
Which is why he named the film Chinatown. In his words, Chinatown is not a specific place, but a state of mind, that is, when outsiders intervene in something. Because of intricate reasons, they have misunderstood the internal truth.
You may think you know what you're dealing with, but believe me, you don't. Why is that funny?
That's what the district attorney used to tell me in Chinatown.
Yeah? Was he right?
Appearance and truth are always at a distance. Just as the instigator of the drought is hiding behind the scenes, those who fight for the interests of the masses have become the target of public criticism. Mulray became Cross's scapegoat. Public anger focused on the engineer who was reluctant to build the dam. The initiator of the disaster can make tons of money and get away with it. When Evelyn drove away from the nursing home, the director foreshadowed the ending of the film. Cross's men shot the car in the same position as the police at the end of the film. We see Evelyn touches her left eye. It was the left eye that was shot at the end. In another scene, Jack kicked the tail light of her car in order to track Evelyn. If we imagine the tail light as a human eye, the kicked tail light is the left eye. And the glasses that Cross dropped in the pool, the left lens shatters.
Oh, my, yes.
Why are you doing it? How much better can you eat? What can you buy that you can't already afford?
The future, Mr. Gitz. The future.
The screenwriter mentioned that the two storylines of the film are closely related in terms of plot and metaphor, raping the future and raping the land. Evelyn and Los Angeles were both crushed under the wanton trampling of Cross. Facing Evelyn's body, Jack remembers his girlfriend who was injured while working in Chinatown. He came to his senses and said the advice his former boss gave him, as little as possible. In front of huge consortia, individuals are so insignificant, and in the entangled mysteries, the truth is nowhere to be found. Why do acts of justice often create tragedies? Jack was stunned by the sudden sense of powerlessness.
Forget it, Jake. It's Chinatown.
After a word of comfort, he was escorted away and disappeared into the crowd. Thank you for watching this video. If you like my analysis, please like and subscribe. This is LC Cinema. I'll see you next time.